So I don't have kids, which means I am the last person you want to take parenting advice from.
Okay, well then don't give parenting advice.
But I do know what it's like to be a kid.
Yeah, and so is every single person in the entire world, literally.
And I was a kid that didn't have freedom of thought.
Freedom of thought? I don't even know what you mean by this. This makes no sense to me. I mean, we literally, everyone in the entire world can think whatever they want. You know, my husband had this saying with his soldiers: think whatever you want. Doesn't mean it has to come out of your mouth. It's called self-control. Just saying. And yes, we said the same thing with our own kids. You can think you hate me because I'm forcing you to get your chores done on a Saturday, but it doesn't mean you have to say it. Matter of fact, as my kids, you better not say you hate me, and you still better get your chores done. But you can think whatever you want. That is literally what we can do. So I don't know how anyone can say they didn't have freedom of thought, but we can think whatever we want. Doesn't mean you have to express it, say it, or act on it.
That was taught there was one way to live, one way to think, and all other ways could lead to destruction. And not being given freedom of thought to imagine all the possibilities really stunted me in ways that I don't even think I've discovered yet.
Well, you know, I can't say anything about her parents. I can't speak on her personal experience in life. That wouldn't be fair to me. I don't know them. But what I can do is talk about being a parent because I am one. Listen, my kids leave this house every single day, and they are bombarded with a lot of things that are just jacked up in this world. I can't do a thing about it. I have no control over it. And they are dealing with all kinds of things that I don't agree with. They are bombarded by all kinds of influences. They're being influenced by their friends, by their teachers, by social media. And you get my point. I would be a complete fool to think that the way I have raised them is the only thing that is influencing them. It's the only way that they're going to see how life is lived. It's the only way that they think is what I am putting into them. It's just not realistic, and it's very naive of me if I did think that. My kids challenge me every day on the things that I have taught them and the way I have raised them. I think every kid does. That's kind of their job, is to challenge us, except for maybe this young lady. I guess she never challenged her parents in any way, shape, or form. You know, as parents, all we can do is lay the foundation for our kids, give them a good, solid foundation to stand on, because they are one day going to leave our house. They're going to grow up. They're going to live their own life. And what they do with that foundation is theirs. It doesn't matter what it is that you choose to raise them with. They're going to figure out their own way of life. Now, my hope and my prayer as a parent is that they allow me to advise them, support them, encourage them to be a part of that life even as they grow up. There are a lot of kids out there that have nothing to do with their parents. And as adults, they have that right, which is so funny because it seems like this is exactly what this girl has done. She has chosen to step off the foundation that her parents have raised her for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. I don't care. That's between them. I'm just saying she's figured out life on her own. Now, I may not agree with it. I may not agree with what my kids choose. At the end of the day, it's still their choice. I'm going to love them no matter what. This girl seems to have done the very thing that she's telling people that she didn't do, which is what's really confusing. She says she didn't have freedom of thought, but yet she's chosen to walk away, which meant she thought something different from her parents.
And I think indoctrination of any kind is harmful to a child and their development.
Okay, I had to stop and actually go Google this word. I really wanted to know. Let's look at the word indoctrination. What does it really mean before we just continue to throw it around out there? So it means the process of teaching a person or a group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Now, I think that's probably the biggest key word here, is uncritically. If anyone is teaching anyone anything, they believe it without critically considering the evidence and critically thinking about it, I agree with her. That's dangerous. You should not do that. I don't care if you're a Christian or not. It doesn't matter. We should not indoctrinate anyone. But teaching someone what you believe and showing the evidence for it and them critically considering it and thinking about it, yes, I think that is a good thing. I do not think that's indoctrination.
If you have decided that you are a strong anti-theist, you hate religion and God does not exist, I do not think you should push that narrative onto your child.
Yeah, I agree with her here. She's right.
I think that children should be free to learn about religions, philosophies, different worldviews.
Again, I think she is correct on this. Not going to disagree.
But they should be given the opportunity and the freedom to decide what suits them best. Children trust the adults in their lives to give them the right information.
Again, I think she is correct.
And you can either teach your kids what to think or you can teach them how to think. And it is my opinion that the world would be a better place if we taught children how to think.
Listen, this is my only caution to this whole thing that's being presented to me right now, is kids think critically when they feel like they have a safe place to do that. Christian, not a Christian, it doesn't matter. When kids have a safe place that they feel like they can go to, and they can present the evidence and see the evidence that's being presented to them, and they critically consider it and think about it without having overwhelming opinions and feelings being thrown at them, gives them the ability to really absorb what they're considering and, well, see it for what it is. So this is my final question, and I'm going to kind of end here. Are you okay as a mom and dad being challenged on what you believe and what you think? If you're wrong, are you willing to admit it? Are you just going to get mad at your kids? Are you willing to be challenged yourself and meet that challenge evidence? Yes, I have chosen to give my kids a foundation of Christianity, raising them. But it's their walk with God. It's their relationship with God, not mine. They do what they want with it. All I could do is give them the foundation. You know, Philippians 2 talks about working out your own salvation. My children have had to figure out, do they believe this? Do they not? Is this the foundation that they want to continue to grow on and flourish on, or do they want to step off and figure out something completely different in their life? Salvation in Christ is an individual thing. As parents, we give them the grounds to grow and stand on it, knowing as adults they are going to have to make their own choice. Every person has to work out their own salvation. You're not born into it. It is a relationship with Jesus Christ. My children have to figure out their own relationship with Christ, just like I have to.